Hey everybody, Stephen Bonnick with the Podfather Gaming back at the UKGE. I'm going to figure I would take you a little bit of a tour around the exhibit halls. We're in Hall 1 right now. Wanted to show you, this is the day one in Hall 1, Friday. It is now about 3 p.m. local time here in Birmingham, England. And it is busy. The day started busy and it got busier. And that's great. As I was saying, the projected attendance is supposed to be amazingly high. Allegedly 28,000. We're going to find out. This is like 6,000 to 7,000 more than it was in 2019, which obviously was pre-COVID when all conventions hit their high watermark. If they actually do that, this will be tearing up records, easily projecting this convention to be the third largest board game convention in the world. As you can see, there's a variety, as usual at major conventions, a variety of styles of vendors. Here's eclectically art, as well as miniatures or macro miniatures, the big ones. Retailers, lots and lots of retailers here, as you can see here. And there are a tremendous amount of these stands here. And they're like the largest ones too. Bigger than many of the publishers. Usual, very attractive dice and dice boxes. Just going to keep going down the aisle. We'll get to some major publishers in just a little while. Look who I found here, Ludofact, Frank Yeager. I'm going to come back and talk to you, my friend. Wow, that was special. Frank Yeager of Ludofact. He's in charge of exports, and we did plenty of business with him back in the day, when I was at Stronghold Games. That was a nice find. I did not even know he was here. Very, very cool. So let's see where we are. This is the largest of the halls, largest companies, in some respect, but not in all respects, because there are lots of small companies here as well. But some of the bigger players are certainly here too. Okay, let's go this way. We're going to make a loop here. We're going to hit the Free League, which you see over there. Now, the Free League is doing, there's a nice blank wall for you. But the Free League is doing some amazing things in the role-playing space, right? Indie role-playing. And, of course, to me, the most important thing that they are doing is the One Ring system. The Lord of the Rings role-playing. Second edition, the One Ring second edition. We're showing you that part of their stand here in a second. And here we go. We're just about there. I got to move this one so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. So the One Ring system is specifically based around playing in Middle-earth in a way that makes much more sense than, for instance, doing it in a 5e style. They have also created 5e books, which have the feel of the One Ring system, but it's still 5e. And if you know, obviously, Tolkien's world was not a high magic world. You know, you don't have the same kind of leveling that you do with Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's 5e. So I am going to get myself into the One Ring second edition at my earliest convenience, because I think this is going to be an amazing experience, especially if you're into the lore. So the Free League not only does all of this components for the Lord of the Rings role-playing, they also have their own systems that they have created, and they've used some major IPs sometimes. This is the Blade Runner system. They've created some of their own worlds. But this is absolutely one of the best of the indie role-playing companies that are out there. All right, we're going to move ourselves to, which very well may be my favorite booth, excuse me, of this entire show. And there they are. It is Ares Games. Now, I'm not there yet, but why is my favorite booth Ares Games, you might ask? Well, if you know anything about me, you know a little bit about my feelings on War of the Ring, the board game. And here we have War of the Ring, the card game, the next product in that line. And it is just amazing. But it gets better than that, folks. It absolutely gets better than that. So I'm going to hand down. And you're seeing them play the regular version of the card game. Looks like they're playing a 4-player, what's called the Trilogy scenario, which is the best way to play the game, which came out of the box and was released last year at Essen. Phenomenal. However, what they're also doing here is they're showing off the expansion for War of the Ring, the card game. Now, I can't show it to you only because it's not on the table. I mean, Roberto Di Meglio, who is my brother, my Italian brother, he and I and Alex from Stonemeyer Games, Alex Schmidt, we played the game before, the expansion. It's called Among the Shadows, something about the Shadows. And we played the expansion, and it is a cooperative version of the game. So Alex and I played against the bot that was controlled by Roberto because he was showing us how it all played out. But the game was amazing. Alex and I won, but it was tight there toward the end. We played the full game. It took about an hour, so it didn't go very long. Alex and I have most experience with War of the Ring, the card game. And it plays just like this. If you have played the card game, playing the cooperative version is not going to be a big stretch. The bot acts in a certain way. There are new decks for the Witch King deck and the Saruman deck with very, very similar cards, but some of them have been rewritten so that the bot will do things a certain way. It really worked great. Now, here's the great news that I'm about to give you. I will be getting a copy, pre-production, pre-release. I will be getting a copy of the prototype at the end of the show to take back. And of course, you know, I will have to do a preview of it. So you can stay tuned to my channel to watch it. I'll probably be the first person ever to do a preview of that game. Not to brag, but I beat you, Dice Tower. I'm not competing with them. Don't worry. But it's going to be great. I'll probably get Roy Cannaday to play with me. Because Roy Cannaday of the Dice Tower is a huge War of the Ring, Lord of the Rings nerd like I am. It'll be really great to get him over, or I'll go down to play with him. So we're moving through this portion of Hall 1, as I mentioned, sort of the largest hall. We'll just kind of turn here for no specific reason other than it looks like a nice aisle to go down. I'm getting a little bit better with this silly gimbal, but I apologize for not being particularly great at it. Warhammer, always present at these shows, especially in the UK. Very big presence. They are a UK company, as you probably know. And they've got a lot going on here. Geekson Lab, Geekson Furniture. Very big in the UK because they're out of the UK, so harder to get the tables in the US. But they make some really amazing high quality tables. I'm going to show you one that I particularly like. Now, having said all this about Geekson, I love them, but you know, I really love the Origins table that I have. Maybe because I have it. I don't know. No, I love my table. But these tables are very cool. In fact, if you take a kind of a look at this, you're kind of seeing it's a very elegant table too. So you certainly could have this in a card room, right? You could certainly have this as part of your dining room table when you take see the leaves for the table that will make it into a regular table. And this one, of course, has those crazy lights. Now, personally, I think that'd be a little distracting for gaming, but it's still very cool. And you've got these great, interesting shelves here. That's something my table absolutely doesn't have. Shelves that you can, put things on, right? They become part of your game. They could be books. They could be whatever. It's very nice. It's very, very nicely appointed. This may be my second favorite table in gaming. Very cool. Geeks and geek furniture. All right. So you can see it's actually walkable. There's a little more crowded up front, a little further back here, not quite as bad. Nice business lounge going on here. Maybe I should take a meeting in there. I'm in the business lounge. Again, more retailers. I can't tell you how many of these, like, just basic retailers are here. This is just the same at Essen too. And you get a little bit of this at the U.S. conventions, but it's usually dominated by cool stuff, right? And miniatures market, which is now part of Asmodee. But you don't get these small retailers with such big booths at U.S. conventions. Too expensive. Floor pricing here is less expensive. And they are carrying a very large range of games. So it works out for them. Certainly works out for everybody else. People are mobbing those booths. We're going to cut up a little bit this way, and then we're going to make a beeline over to the side here. Again, we are in Hall 1 of 2 exhibitor halls. Hello there. Hello. Say hi to my fans. He was just smiling at me, so I figured I'd put him on. You guys can hear those bings. They're really loud in my head. I don't know if you're hearing them too, as my notifications are going off for various things. So, again, just another reseller, which has just got a tremendous amount of stuff. And I mean, look at this. Look how long this booth is. This booth is longer than some of the Asmodee booths. I'm going to call this 40 feet. It's probably, they do it in meters, first of all, and they do it like 8. So I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's got to be at least 12 meters, maybe more. Tremendous. And just a regular retailer with a lot of product and a good range of product. So the next spot that we're going to hang out in is going to be one of the big guys. You can see the names up there. We're going to go toward the Star Wars stuff. We're going to see some, obviously some of what Asmodee is bringing to the show. Fantasy Flight part of Asmodee. Oh, another interesting thing that they do here? They do this shop, I forgot what they call it. This is shop and drop. You drop off your games, and people can buy your game. Like, you can bring stuff. It's a flea market type thing. That place is just where you can just drop things. I think as you're shopping around. But there's a place where you can drop your games off, and then people buy them. And then they pay you back. So you don't gotta wait there with your game. Crazy. We don't get that in the U.S. It's very interesting. Okay, here we are. Star Wars deck building game being played right here, the Asmodee presence here is tremendous. It's really, really large. I have not played it, but I hear it plays like Star Realms. This is what I was just having a conversation with my buddy Alex, and that was his analogy. It's Star Realms, and he likes it better. Your mileage may vary. And new on the scene is Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is from Atomic Mass Games, which is another division of Asmodee. They came basically out of Fantasy Flight and they got all the miniature stuff. And allegedly, this is going to be one of their biggest products of the year. I don't even know where it is exactly. What I'm seeing here, I'm not even sure if this is. Oh, this is it. Okay, let's take a quick look at this. Sorry for moving around so quickly, guys. Let me pivot. So this is Shatterpoint. Really the first time I've seen it too. Pretty good looking. I'll get out of your way in a second. Sorry, I'm bothering you. There we go. And let's come over to here and get even a better feel for what's going on. It's pretty nice stuff. This is going to be allegedly like one of the absolutely biggest releases of the year. I was at the Asmodee Retailer Day presentation, and they were already predicting this to be like their number one release in total margin. So let's take a look at this. I don't know how much of this is custom, how much you can buy. This has got to be custom terrain. If you take a look, we got like, I don't know, sand dunes or something. Let me see if I can I can zoom in, zoom out for you. Oh, look at that. This camera's kind of cool. I can zoom in. Sorry. I want to interrupt the demo people here. They're doing a wonderful job. Really, really neat. I'm liking what I'm seeing. How does the game play? That I have to leave up to you. I do not know. All right, we're going to try to exit this without killing people. I'm going to try to come over here to this side, show you a little bit of other things that they're showing off here, because this is obviously one of the more important companies. All right, Armada's been out for a while. I haven't released anything new, I don't think, for Armada. But this is pretty solid. Obviously, this is their small, larger scale miniature game. I guess you can say it that way. And by I mean if that's the way, larger scale meaning you're playing with Star Destroyers, right? Hope you can see that pretty well. All right, there's your Star Destroyers. Next to them are other smaller ships, but it's and over here you see the Rebels. Those are all X-wings and various other capital ships. And of course, that's how it differentiates itself from X-wing. Let's take a look at it over here first. Star Wars X-wing up there. Looks kind of cool in that nice thing. And of course, here we know this game very well. Smaller scale miniatures, right? So the ships are too large in this game to have a Star Destroyer. So they kind of created the other game where they can have capital ships fighting versus having the smaller ships fighting. So really, really, really slick. I'm going to move myself into Hall 2. leaving the Star Wars, as the day Fantasy Flight Star Wars area. Swinging around, swinging around, swinging around. Hopefully that didn't give you vertigo. And we're going to get ourselves to Hall 2. Hall 2 is a little darker, which I found interesting. I don't know why, because the ceiling here is so much taller than in Hall 2. Yet, it is significantly darker in there. I'm going to attack the darkness. Going upstairs here. Sorry for bouncing if I am. I'm going to cut down the first aisle, which may be a mistake. It's definitely a busy aisle. I'm going to try to go up high. Again, retailers. Here's Japanime Games. So a pretty big company right there. Nobody has mentioned that any kind of standouts, games that you must try or anything like that here. I've shown you some of the stuff that I've wanted to get into and I have played. Oh, look at this guy. Hold on. Oh, hello, sir. Nice face. All right. Quick announcement. That gentleman right there, that very tall, 6', 6" gentleman right there, is Ross Jepson. Ross, why don't you wave there? Wave for my fans. Ross Jepson is another hegemony. Sounds good. He's pimping hegemony. So Ross has worked for PSI, and anybody who listens to the podcast has heard that. He's worked for PSI for the longest time. He's retiring from PSI this year, which is pretty cool. So Ross will join me in traveling the world, I hope. Or maybe not. He's Canadian. He's really nice. See you, Ross. I'm going to make one small additional loop. Oh, you know what? We're going to go into Hall 3. That's what we're going to do. This is Hall 2. Very big guy in front of you. We're going to go into Hall 3, and we're going to show you the open gaming. I think that would be fair to do that as one of the last things we do. It's the last hall, and it is open tables, a lot of them. Now, different than Essen, which is not a particularly great comparison anyway for this. This is more like an American. This is more like an Origins, I guess, in a lot of ways. You can game here in the open gaming halls until like 2 a.m. So not quite all night, not quite, Gen Con that has things going even later than that, but still, that is pretty good. You don't get thrown out of the halls like in Essen. You can keep gaming and gaming to your heart's content. Personally, I think you should go and eat something for dinner and then come back and game. But I have a feeling some of these people stay and just keep gaming all night long. All right, we're going to be making a turn here. And we are entering Hall 3. If you got really good eyes, you can see it way there in the background, Hall 3. As I mentioned, This is open gaming. Open gaming and some organized play too. You can see people who are sponsoring the various areas. Star Wars Armada. Way over there. There's your open gaming tables. And they do have a library. You can see it back there, a board game library. They do have tournaments. There's your tournament, some tournament headquarters there. And here we have the open game. So this is what I was talking about before. I'm not going to go back there because I can't get in anyway. When you look over there, it says bring and buy. So you can literally put your stuff in there, people buy it, and then you get paid back later. This is interesting. So it's a flea market, but you don't got to sit there all day. Hello, hello. Thank you. Here's a fan right there. Your face looks too big. Hold on, I'm backing up. So now you're going to be on my channel too. What's your name, sir? Andy. You having a good time, Andy? Obviously, you're a local-ish. Where do you come from? Oh, awesome. That's great. So you listen to Board Games Insider? You enjoy it? Good. I will really appreciate it, Andy. You? Every time. Enjoy it. Very nice. Very nice to meet you. Isn't that nice? I get that a lot, which is just really makes you feel good that there are people who do appreciate what you're doing. He just saw me and heard me, I guess, and he said hello. I love that. They were not waving to me, though I waved back at them. And that's it, guys. I think we'll cut it now. It makes sense. We've seen all the halls. This is a live, wide-angle shot now of all of Hall 3. There you go, as wide as I can get that. And the UKGE in full swing, really lively, vibrant, and the English and the Welsh. I'm getting Welsh beer later on tonight. And the Irish and the Scottish and a lot of people from the continent as well are here enjoying themselves. It's really wonderful to see that this is back again. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.